Yeah, obviously a good weekend, you know, to finish on top of the podium. Went 2-1. Tough condition out there, pretty much the same as last year. And I got great starts every time, top 2, top 3. So that was the key. First moto was a tough one. Almost crashed a few times, but I stayed on 2 wheels, and I had to stop in the pits, you know, to change goggles, and still got second. And the second moto, I was leading after a couple laps, and I felt really comfortable on the track and on the bike, and I was really happy. I kept pushing all the way to the finish and never looked back, and I was able to have a good gap. So that was good.
Unadilla, it was a mutter again. You know, it was like mutter 2.0 for last year, and you know, it was a better result with 1-2, even day on points with Marvin. And first moto was like just the sloppy mess mud, and then second moto was like the peanut butter, more heavy mud. First moto was really good, a little more wild for sure. The lines were everywhere, and they even came in for a pit stop. It was actually kind of fun, you know, especially when you win the race that way too. So it was cool. Got fresh vision there, and cranked out Moto 1. Moto 2 didn't have the pace, you know, that I had in the first one. Track changed a lot, and you know, when Marv got a little better start, and I was just settled in for second at that point. So that was the weekend.
Yeah, it was good. Practice okay. It was 6th overall in practice. Then the rain started opening up. First moto was good. Ended up 3rd that moto. Not the greatest start. Came from 10th to 3rd, and felt good. It was actually kind of like NASCAR. A bunch of us were pulling in real quick, changing goggles, and I think it was a little 2 laps too late on the goggles. So I kind of had to do 1 lap without goggles, and then I pulled in, and I had to repass Loss and Russell. And then second moto was good. I was up there, good hole shot, running 3rd for a long time. For some reason my throttle arm got really bad arm pump. I don't know what the deal was, and then kind of faded back, and then ended up passing Coop again. He didn't have goggles, and then honestly, last corner, last lap, second moto, I get 3rd overall on the pit board, and I went left to drop into gravity cavity, and I tucked the front end, washed out. And I tried to get up real quick. I looked to my left, and Coop was like deer stuck in the headlights, and he wanted to get me. So 3.5 for 3rd overall, and I'm stoked. So yeah, pretty pumped to do this at my hometown track, and a lot of family and friends here. So yeah, stoked.
You know, just it was good to have a weekend off and then come back racing. Ideally, my ideal race wouldn't be a mutter here at Unadilla, but it is what it is, and everybody had to ride it. So no, I had fun. All in all, wasn't bad. Got a great start at the first moto. Was up there, came in, goggle change, went back out. Felt pretty good. Wasn't on the podium, but we were right there. And then second moto, okay start, and just kept plugging away. So all in all, I feel pretty good about it. We'll just keep building from here, and just keep finishing the next 2 out as strong as we can.
Weekend was sick. This track was a little brutal, both motos, but I love the mud, so I enjoyed it. It was kind of more watery than I had hoped, but Unadilla is always fun, so enjoyed it a lot.
Weekend was, I was hoping it was going to go a lot better, you know, with being Unadilla, one of my favorite tracks of the year. Rain came, kind of bummed with that, so it was Moto 1 and 2 were pretty gnarly with the rain, and a lot of mud, a lot of rain, and just kind of dealing with my hand issue. Wasn't the best conditions with my hand, so I kind of just, my hand went numb pretty quick, kind of just dealt with that, so I think I went 9/8, not sure overall, but I'm not a mud rider as it is, you know, coming from Cali, but did my best, showed some, put some points out there for the team, and, you know, trying to make everybody happy for the last couple rounds, and then just kind of go from there and head into next weekend, and hopefully there's no rain, and redeem myself with a, you know, top 4, top 5 finish, so.
Man, it started off great. Excited to be here, excited to have this opportunity. It's just, you know, it's an honor to ride for Roger DeCoster and the Red Bull KTM Factory Racing team. Obviously, I'm KTM Factory rider already with off-road stuff, but started off in practice good, qualified P12, and then it started raining good a bit. First moto was great. I got off to a decent start, and just kind of stayed patient, and some of those guys were really going for it, and I ended up finding myself in 3rd. I was like, man, I seen the pit board, I was like, man, this is freaking surreal. I was like, holy shit. But I ended up having to toss my goggles like 20 minutes in, and then I was struggling getting by the lappers, because if you get up on them, you catch them really fast, and then there's only a couple good lines. So I was getting roosted real bad, and then Nicoletti got around me, and I actually crashed on gravity cavity up the hill, and I had to turn around and go back to the bottom, and ended up first moto 6th. I was pretty pumped with that. It could have been a little bit better, but hey, it's my first race, got 6th. I don't know too many people that can say that, you know. It's freaking amazing. But second moto, got a killer start. Don't know how I pulled it off. Ducked to the inside. It was about 3rd going around the 2nd turn, and then I got past Tomac, went by me, and then Barshik just came on the rev limiters by me and got a little whiskey on the jump. Halfway, quarter of the way through the first lap, looped it out. Bike shot in front of me, smashed me, fell on top of him, broke my brake pedal off. And I was running about 10th place and just trying to like pick the lines and be real smart, because I didn't have a brake, and it was really hard to get into the ruts today because it was slick entering. And about, I think halfway in, I missed a rut jumping into one, and I got in the soft stuff and cartwheeled really bad. Hit my elbow up, banged it up pretty good, but I picked the bike up, and the exhaust was completely packed full of mud, and the bike wouldn't start, so I had to take a stake and dig it out. It's second moto was a bummer. It was awesome to be up there battling with those guys, and I just wish the whole Barsha incident didn't transpire. I'm sure he did too. I mean, it's not like he meant to do it, but it's one of those things. It's racing, and I think it would have been a really good day if I could have, you know, had a couple less mistakes that second moto.